What's up, this is Sven from CalisthenicMovement, and in today's video I will tell you why I haven't done any sit-ups or crunches for the last 4 years. First of all, you should know that it's not necessary to do sit-ups or crunches to build a strong core. Our body is made for functional and complex movements and not for isolating specific muscles or muscle groups. Exercises like push-ups, pull-ups, planks and even deep squats train our abs in a more functional way if they are performed correctly. You should also consider that the core mostly works in a static way when doing most movements. That means that in the most cases it doesn't make much sense to train it dynamically. But if you still want to do one of those both exercises, I recommend you to do crunches. Unlike the sit-up, the crunch only uses the abdominal muscles to perform the movement and not the hip flexors. In addition to that, the sit-up can have a bad influence on your lower back. Now we're going to take a look on the advantages and disadvantages of a crunch. The only advantage in my mind is that after injuries or when very bad muscle imbalances exist, it can make sense to train muscles isolated to equalize the imbalances. For the disadvantages I got a lot of more points. The first one is the intensity is hard to adjust. In the most cases a lot of crunches are done and the intensity stays the same. The second point is the abdominal muscles are not designed from an evolutionary standpoint to crunch. Their primary job is to keep the torso stable and protect your skeletal system, not to flex the spine. The third point is you will need more time because the muscles are trained isolated. And the last point, there's a higher risk of structural imbalance because you adapt a pose that you already have a lot in your everyday life. But how should the core effectively be trained then? Like I already said, you should focus on complex movements for the whole body. That can be bodyweight exercises as well as exercises with free weights. In both cases, the core has to stabilize all movements. Of course, there are complex movements where the core plays a major role, like for example leg raises, knee raises, dragon flex, planks and many more. When doing these exercises you can control the intensity very good, but always keep in mind that it's really important to tilt the pelvis backwards. If you only move your legs without the pelvis, you mostly train hip flexors and not the abs. The same applies to all static exercises. An arched lower back and a forward tilted pelvis is a sign of weakness in your abdominal muscles. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, just leave a comment below. See you soon.